Hello and welcome to the Cowboy4Game Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm your host Jake. Today I'm joined by Ben from NolanTCG.
Hello.
And Harry from Locals.
Sup, fellas?
Noted blue collar trade.
Yes.
How was our week in Yu-Gi-Oh? Let's start with you, Harry.
My week was minimal at best. I've just come back from being ill, so I've only played Sunday today and then the week before. I've been playing Runic Fur Hire for the last, I don't know, month and a half or so.
Whenever you hear Jake complaining.
Yeah, I am Jake's bane of existence.
For now.
Yeah. Deck goes alright. Played round one against Leo and watched my Folgo get put in the spell and trap zone, so that was fun. Game 2, played against Jesse, playing the August horror stuff. And
Phantom
that,
Knights?
No,
just August.
August.
Okay.
August Horus with the Resonator package.
Yeah.
And then round 3 played against Jake, and I think I only just won that because of sequencing towards the end.
I threw real bad.
I did look over and Harry was puppet locked, but then Harry was still playing and I was like, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You just searched a bunch of stuff and I played through it, but my being greedy meant that I'd kind of fucked it up. But I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, so
okay.
in the instance of getting puppet locked, it was just a matter of I am just going to resolve Fountain, draw 3, and then just hope that I draw non-engine. And by non-engine, I mean more runic cards, and it worked. So
Yeah. That does work.
yeah, that was my
work.
week.
Ben.
Ben's turn. I went X1 both locals. What did I lose to? I realistically didn't lose Tuesday. I lost, but yeah. Anyway, today, things are going great with the deck. I now, as of today, finally I'm playing full power with your Populace and your Princess. So that's good. Makes the deck really cool. Really appreciating how good Nibiru is in the current format now, so I'm probably going to be main decking that again. I'm going to do some shifting. I might take Bells out, putting in the Nibiru. I just need to cut one more card to fit the Nibiru into the main. Just because that card's really good. Being able to nib your opponent gives yourself a card, and then it doesn't matter if they imperm or negate the normal summon, because you can just link 2, go into Heater, take whatever you want off them. Then you can either go into Princess, or you can steal their own Princess if you've held long enough, or you can take their Flame Burst. You just make sure not to put it back in their graveyard. And then you just kind of pop off from there. It's quite good. Really enjoying the deck. I'm playing Fire King Snake Eyes at the moment. I'm strongly considering switching over to just pure Snake Eyes, just because I want to play more power spells. I found that in my matchups where I'm losing, that's what I'm losing to. But at the same time, the Snake... There's just ebbs and flows that... Yeah. Positives and negatives everywhere. If you play the Fire King stuff can get you out of a lot of trouble sometimes. But also, playing Fire Kings gets you into that trouble. Getting your field spell Cosmic isn't the end of the world, because you can still do other shit if you've gone full combo into it.
Yeah.
The issue is, if you didn't play the field spell, the Cosmic wouldn't matter so much. So it's a bit kind of you can still keep going, but at the same time, I'm just kind of considering just disregarding it and just being I'll just play regardless.
Yeah.
Because if you get Cosmic'd, if you just leave the board, your Amblerway will die and summon back your IP anyway. And then of course your Flame Burst floats into the 2 and you still have the full combo for Fire King just sitting in hand. So it's it doesn't really stop you getting hit with that. Because you can still just go IP into something. You can then do whatever you want with your Snake Eyes package, and then you can still, when you make the big Xyz, you can still bring back your Princess from grave, popping the big Xyz and your opponent's monster, and then the big Xyz soul charges you brought back, and then you just have game next turn.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's just I'd like to play more breakers. We could just see a case where I just smokescreen side into entire Snake Eyes deck out of the side deck, just to be able to to take out the 10 Fire King cards that I have in my main deck.
Yeah.
Put in the Snake Eyes stuff and then 6 other hand traps. Now that I've said that out loud, I might try that.
There was a list floating around that was the Fire King Snake Eye that smoke screens into Rescue Ace.
Okay.
That's because the things that Fire King lose to isn't what Rescue Ace loses to. A fair portion, at least. That was the reasoning that they provided.
Yeah.
So it's like they're going to side in, like Cosmic Cyclones, for example, for the field spell. It's like, sick, I've taken it out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I guess.
I mean, the
It's
history
just
of it
a
is
thing
that
to
like
consider,
effective
but-
smoke screening has done very well in the past. It's very hit and miss sometimes as to when it actually goes.
The more I think about it, the more I'm kind of playing as well. I just don't think, like, getting your... I just don't think it matters getting your field spell cosmic.
No, if it gets Cosmic early on, like you said, you just flow back into the rest of your board
Yeah,
anyway.
if your opponent doesn't have a response to your combo, a cosmic's not going to save them.
Yeah.
So, like... Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I might test that theory and run into that. Doesn't mean I can change my side deck up a bit. I'll mess around with the main and I'll figure it out. That's going to be the deliberation for the next couple of weeks on the podcast is, can Ben come up with ways to play his deck better? Anyway, Jake, how's your week?
My week's alright. I can't remember what I went on Tuesday. That was the last time I played Hawkist. I think I did okay. I think I did X1. And I lost to like burn damage, so like it doesn't count. And then today I've pivoted on to what is likely going to be what I play for YCS, which is branded. Still getting used to new lines and things, so a couple things to change, but yeah, it's not the most ideal way that you have to play it these days, but it is the way that I will be playing it, which is to do the lock with the puppet, just because it is so very strong. So yeah, still testing bits and pieces of that. So today, I lost one round because of like a difference in damage. Like I think I was like down by like 400 life points or something. And then I lost to Harry in the last game because I got greedy and summoned something off Quem when I didn't need to summon something off Quem, and I'd filled up all my monster zones, so I couldn't then puppet lock him again.
Ah, okay.
It also helped that I freezing cursed your Mirror Jade to banish him.
Twice.
Yeah. So I freezing cursed, negate the Mirror Jade, and then I draw for turn the second freezing curse to then negate it again.
So I was like, oh yeah, I can.
Did you try to use it on back-to-back turns?
If Mirror Jade's negated, you can. Okay. Has to resolve to then not be able to activate the next turn.
Okay. Just checking that.
Please refer to Rinbrum for further information.
He's asked us to refer to other Viking cards. Not Viking cards, branded cards.
There
Sorry.
you go.
I was only thinking about relevant things, my bad.
Okay. Alright.
Anyway, Harry, do you believe Jake succumbed to peer pressure in switching back to playing his cards?
No,
Purple
not
ones.
necessarily. Like, just having a deck that goes, I'll summon Gimmick Puppet and effectively win the game. I think it's just objectively correct.
I think
Like,
Jake has succumbed to peer pressure and Harry was supposed to agree with me.
Haha, you don't have your own gimmick puppet over here, idiot. Anyway.
Everyone in the comment section agrees with Ben.
Well, we'll get to that. So, beginning with news, we start with Master Duel. So, they are having dual festivals running, or they will be shortly. The first of which is the Legend Anthology Acceleration.
I hated it so
It's
much.
really not great. It's...
The ban list makes no sense.
Yeah, like, some decks are fine, like, Dark Magician's obviously fine. TG's is obviously fine. I think TG's is because they just released the new stuff, so they want to, like,
Yeah.
give it stuff, but also like most of the good synchro monsters are banned, so it's like you're just playing TGs and maybe a Quasar.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I played like the Yusei synchro deck.
Mm-hmm.
Junk Speeder is banned. It is for every one of these events that they do. Junk Speeder is always banned. It is called Junk Speeder. It is a Yusei card.
Yeah, but what's the first word?
Junk.
Yeah, put it in the bin. Get him away. Bad card.
Whoever comes up with a ban list for these events is petrified that card will break it.
You say hater.
Yeah, it's bizarre because it's also banned for the synchro event we're about to get as well.
Yes, so that's the second event that'll be starting on the 19th, a Synchro and Xyz festival.
I thought it was Lynx. Is it not Lynx?
No, Synchro is Xyz.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm just going to play the same deck and have it just suck even more.
Yeah, well, the problem with the Synchro Xyz Fest is that people can have hand traps in that one.
You can have hand trips in the current
which is the total of Effect Veiler and 1 Imper.
Yeah,
That is it.
because Effect Veiler is a Yusei card.
Yeah.
And here we are.
In that I've been playing Dark Magician because none of the other decks I have comply.
Fair.
Or they would comply, but all of their good shit's limited or banned.
Loza would be proud.
I mean, just being able to once a turn banish something is generally more than most decks can handle.
Out's the Synchro deck because it has to be destroyed to keep playing. Like, you can clear your opponent's board, but then if they banish your boss monster, you don't soul charge back from grave.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like,
yeah.
okay, I lost. Sick. Although I ended up, my fix to that problem was I took out Stardust Warrior, the 10,
Yeah.
that negates a summon. That is a shit negate. It doesn't actually negate like 95% of the cards that summon. So I cut that from my deck and I put in Nirvana High Paladin instead.
Yeah, card good.
Just attack over, halve your opponent's life points.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I had more than 3,000 attack was the part that I needed. But that fixed my problems.
Nirvana High Paladin. He fixing problems.
I'm definitely not reading it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't read the first half. The second half of its text is what does stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first half is to do with Pendulum specifically.
Yeah, it's like when it dies, go back into the scale. If you pen someone something, I don't fucking know.
Something, blah, blah, blah.
But then you get halfway down, it's like, if this card inflicts, if it destroys some monster by battle, halve your opponent's life points. Like, oh, that's pretty good.
The Xyz Synchro Festival will be starting very soon. I think
sorry.
for what?
I need to, again, point out something that I did that was fun. So I'm also playing the prize card synchro, Blood Mephist. So at one point, I had like nuked my opponent's board, but they had like a monster that I couldn't out. So I had like Nirvana High Paladin, Blood Mephist, and like he kept like setting cards, and I was just attacking over it with the Nirvana High Paladin to halve his life, and then the Blood Mephist burned him for what he had in his field. Like, I'm just gonna do this every turn, buddy, until either you play and lose, or I kill you. That was fun.
Sounds very fun. For the next festival, I'm either going to play Time Thieves because I have that built, or I'm going to play the loner deck, which is Agents.
Okay. But you don't have the Link 1 agent. They have a Link 1. I thought the Link 1 makes like the whole deck go round.
What are you talking about?
Agents. They have a Link 1.
Name the link.
No, it points this direction.
I'm going to need you to name the link.
You've played Agents before and you've summoned it against me.
Name the link.
I don't know. Agent of Uranus.
It's a link 2,
Ah,
and it's Agent of the Moon.
okay. But you don't have that card, JK. You're going to play Agents.
All it does is Foolish Burial. That's all it does.
Come back next week when Jake's like, man, I just needed a Foolish Burial. God damn it. So many times I've just needed this effect.
But again, I may well just play Time Thieves because Time Thieves is simplistic enough that it'll beat most of the Muppets on the ladder. So that's fine.
My point that I'm trying to get here is they've chosen a starter deck where they can't give you all the cards.
I mean, is that
Good work.
like any different to like, oh yeah, here's all the cards available, we're not going to give them to you though? Like,
No, it's them saying, sorry, we gave you an event where you don't have any decks to play. Play one of these 3, but not all of this one.
I don't know. They've definitely done things like that before where they've just sort of slapped a deck together and it's not been like a competitively viable deck.
Look, I come up against Stun in one of them and I was like, get rid of your back row, I win.
I versed a interesting, probably the wrong word, but it's the only one that comes to mind. Time Lord deck.
Yep.
But they played Legacy of the Duelist, and what Legacy of the Duelist allowed them to do was instead of their draw each turn, they could recycle a monster back from their hand. So they just kept adding back the Effect Veiler that they kept dropping on me.
My memory of what happened in my match was my opponent went summon a Time Lord, set 4, ending the main phase, and I was like, before end of main phase, veil your Time Lord. Before end of main phase, Stardust effect, summon Satellite Warrior, nuke your entire board. This now has 7,500 attack. Do you still wish to pass? Yes? Okay, cool, game. Time Lord's great.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
So moving
Veiler.
into
say
some
card.
more news, of which there's really not a lot. Thankfully, we have a lot of questions this week, I will say that. So, spoke about where Master Duel's up to. We have a full list of the OTS 24, is it?
25.
Yeah. No, 24.
28.
24.
We've only just gotten 23 at locals, haven't we?
Correct.
Yeah, we're running on Australia runs on a huge delay.
Yeah.
So they're receiving this in stores in North America right now.
Oh my god.
When it comes to
we are
OTS, we may as
barely
well
received
be
23.
the TCG of OCS.
Yeah.
Everyone else sees it first, and then
yeah.
we get it.
It's bad enough that the supers in there are for last format.
Uh-huh.
We're now getting them 2 formats later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we know all the ultis, obviously. Chaos Angel, Rock Vanquisher, and Duster.
We just got super rare bike for context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and like Super Rare Preventer and Emergency, and it's like
Yeah, Dex hit.
if you own Rescue Ace and you own the Wanteds and all that, just buy the Fire King structure decks.
Yeah.
So, for supers, we have King Tiger Wang Hu, very timely reprint. Wang Hao. Unchained Twins Aruha, Labyrinth Chandraglian, Cornfield Coatl, Unchained Soul of Shavara, DDD Wave Hiking Caesar, was already a super.
Yep.
To be fair, didn't have a reprint.
No, it didn't. No, I was thinking it did for a second, but I remember that was the American super that was in your collection.
Yes.
Pearly Sleepy Memory, Terrors of the Overroot, Pearly Yeep.
Is the Overroot a super?
Yeah.
That's a good reprint.
Manadium Reframing. That is all the supers. And then we have some random...
Also, still printing Pearly cards.
I don't mind it because it is Sleepy Memory, which is the only one of them that doesn't have a foil yet.
Oh, they printed Pearly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have done it last OTS pack.
Oh, realistically, yeah.
Like, why not? Now the deck's like barely usable.
It seems they've reprinted a bunch of those random, like, hand trap... No, not even hand trap, really. Like, the discard
that
to
were
steal
played 4 months
monsters.
ago.
So, like,
Yeah.
Bizer Shock, Electric Virus, Papa Plant, and Marionette Mite.
Because they were like, fuck, we should have reprinted these a while back. We should probably just give them out, play base them.
Fire Flint Lady, again, very timely because you just murdered Infernoble. Raider's Wing, I suppose that's understandable. Same with Forstrix, because Raid Raptor Tings. Saphira, Queen of Dragons as well,
Forstrix,
and
the
Himalite. Yeah,
Didn't that already have an OTS print?
possibly. It might have been a super before, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It has the secret in a super, but I don't know where the super came from.
Oh, and Raid Raptor Claw's also getting one. Cyanite Mining. Don't really understand why that's getting a common at this
I'll
point.
take that.
I mean, it's a good reprint to have. It's just like, oh yeah, we killed one of the best cyber engines in the game. Here's a card.
But Salamangrate's back, Jake.
Is it?
Yeah, Code of Soul was in the last main set. Didn't you hear?
No.
Didn't you hear?
No.
But Josh told everyone for the past 4 months that it's in the main set, despite not checking that it was going to be in the main set. It was definitely in the main set. So this is much needed reprint.
See, that's why I didn't hear, because Josh said it.
Yeah. I had this realization, by the way, the other day when he was like looking for salad stuff. He was like, "Oh, since Code of Soul didn't come out," I was like, "What do you mean didn't come out?" He's like, "Yeah, it wasn't in the set." And I was like, "Hold up, like." You said for the last 5 months it was in the set.
Yeah.
It's not in the set? He's like, no, it wasn't in here. I was like, what made you think it was in the set? He's like, I just had a good feeling. I was like, bro.
Oh, Christ.
Guys, they're going to reprint Hulk and bring it off the ban list in the next main set.
I hope not.
I just have a
you got
good
a good
feeling.
God, can that card never come back, please? Holy shit.
But the ultis are so cheap.
I just sold
They
one.
are
I just
very
sold
cheap.
one for 20 to Lachlan.
There you go.
And now it's in my possession.
Yes.
Do with that information what you will.
He's not going to watch the podcast to find out.
No. Magispector Tornado and Magispector Tempest. I mean, deck's old as fuck, so sure.
Those are commons?
Those are commons.
Yeah, commons.
Because I think they're already commons in their original print.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just haven't gotten a print for like...
Wasn't
feels
Tempest
close,
a super?
Close to 10
I don't know.
years.
I'm fairly certain Tempest was a common because, like,
Which one's Tempest?
it's the Solemn Strike at home.
Explain the art.
It's the Yada crow flapping its wings with the gusts at the bottom.
I don't remember that one.
Well,
That one.
That was a common.
yeah, because it came out the set before Breakers of Shadow, which was Solemn Strike.
Yeah, that was
And
Secrets of Eternity.
It was
No, I crashed.
it was a functionally searchable Solemn Strike, even without the guiding Ariadne,
Yeah.
that you could play a set before Bosch. So it's like if you're doing Magispector Pepe, that was the advantage over just perform a Power Pendulum.
Yeah.
because you got Solemn Strike
You
so
got it.
early.
You
yeah.
could just go, oh, you pen summoned? No, you didn't.
Yeah, because you summon the Fox, and Fox would get the trap.
So, for all our American and European watchers, I mean,
Enjoy your
it's
test
a
pack.
somewhat not timely reprint for you. But if you feel bad about it, just think of us here down in Australia who won't see it for another 3 months.
They blame Icon for this. I don't blame Icon for this. I blame Konami.
The blame
It's all
would be-
Jerome's fault.
It's been.
Fuck you, Jerome. I saw your hair on that stream. Grow some.
Did you? How? Where was it?
It was a little over here, and a little of it was smooshed over here.
He's got like the most patch.
It honestly looked like he was about to prepare himself for a hair transplant because just this bit had like nothing going on.
No, I had some that was over here. That then was also located over here because it went.
But that just looks like a grid. Like it just looks like a grid of like little hair follicles that have just been put in his head.
Yeah.
That's
You know what they call
shocking.
that? Full head of hair. I respect you, Jerome.
Really did a 180. Lastly on product news, we've got the full set spoiler for the Battles of Legend Chapter 1. It's not great.
Not great. I thought this set's fucking fantastic.
Why?
Because they've just printed a whole bunch of cards that needed reprints in common. They've just been like, you know that regular bulk you get from these shitty sets? This time it's actually decent.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if it is.
I think it is. I really like this set. I'm not going to buy any. Like, by all means, I already own all of these cards. But, like... How did this get located behind this? Sorry, I've just realised that this is not straight. I apologise for the viewers at home who had to put up with that eyesore. We here at Cowboy4Game Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast strive for the greatest quality in every aspect, and having a crooked banner in the background is... it's just not up to our standards. However, this set is up to our standards because it's actually pretty decent. If you haven't played the game in the last 5 years and you missed out on the amazing set that was Battles of Legends Season 1, here you go. You get some. They also snuck some reprints in there that were needed. The reason why Jake is complaining is because they reprinted Gimmick Puppet. He paid a lot of money for his.
Incorrect. I've paid nothing for mine.
Jake stole his Gimmick Puppet. That's right. Arrest him, policeman.
I bought a Gimmick Puppet 2 days before.
We were getting to this.
We should clarify, I'm the guy that buys stuff that gets banned on the ban list like within a week after I buy it. I bought a Gimmick Puppet Nightmare on eBay for like 20 Australian, and then 2 days later Jake posts in the group chat that the reprint has been announced.
To be fair, it's not supposed to be the set, but they just put it in there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, at no point was it printed in Battles of Legend. They've just gone...
In fairness, for $20, I'm not bothered because every other listing on eBay before that one was about 40, and then it got bought out on TCG Player to the point where the only listing was for $1,800.
Was it
My
in Number
God.
Hunters?
Yeah, Number Hunters from like 2012, 2013. That was the only print it's had since then.
Does this make Number Hunters canonically a Battles of Legend set? I would argue yes.
Maybe.
I'm not familiar with pack lore. Like card lore I'm okay with, but the packs that there's cards in, no, I'll sit out of that one.
I'm a genius of pack lore, and the answer is yes. You know how I come up to that answer? Because they reprinted number cards in Battles of Legend.
So speaking of which, so they've got... The way it's packaged is you get one promo and then it's like 2 ultras in each pack and you get 3 packs per box, something like that. So the secret promos are Big Eye, Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. I'm not sure which one that is. I think it
is
might
the
be
Link.
the one that's
the
like...
Link 3?
I think so, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
So, Envoy of Beginning is the...
Yeah,
Emblem.
the one that I thought it might be because like it's only had one printing is that more recent one where it's like in your draw phase reveal it and you can add a ritual spell to your hand instead. I thought it might have been that, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, E-Hero Stratos of the original art, Absolute Zero, Gamseel, Pendulum Dad.
Yeah, because they it's the...
Oh, the Xyz Dad. Xyz Dad.
Yeah, because they reprinted all of those jump arts. Which were, again, original Battles of Legend cards. Quite expensive, some of them.
Neos Wiseman, the Time Lord Synchro, which for the Time Lord fans here is a level 10, so I'm not sure how you make it in Time Lords. And
first printing as well on that.
Second. It had a promo printing.
Congrats to all 3 Time Lord players getting that synchro, but don't buy the set because you've already got them.
Yes. They can now just legally play them in Australia.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because I think it was jump. It would have.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
it was
correct,
jump-
a
It
jump
was
promo?
either jump or jump adjacent, something like that.
So it wasn't legal here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hero Infernal Devicer, Cyber / Harpy Lady.
Harpy Lady.
I got stuck because I'm moving on to the Ultras.
So, I just had a flashback. Remember when we got a Summon Sorceress?
Yeah,
And it was a jump promo, so we didn't get it for like another 4 months?
Same
Yeah.
with Link Hero.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those were the days.
No, they weren't.
Because I remember, Link, like, all the level leader combo and grinding golem combos were just not relevant for us because, like,
Yeah.
Link Hero didn't exist. You didn't have the Link Heroes to go into, like,
Actually,
a cash
Security Dragon wasn't available then either, and I'm
No.
sure that was part of their combo line.
In Japan, yeah, but we then didn't get that on a delay. But yeah, Grinder Golem got banned before we
Yeah, before we
even
could
had a
look at the
playable
cards.
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Australia really is the area where they're just like,
That was also
oh,
a
you want to
Europe
play
thing.
Peak Yu-Gi-Oh? No. So for Ultra reprints in here, we have White Aura Whale, Judgment Dragon, Minerva Xyz, Sage with Eyes Blue, Evil Swarm, Excitation Knight, Orgoth the Relentless, Flying Elephant, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, which is a needed one, Boral Guard Dragon, which is not a needed one.
Didn't have a reprint.
Didn't need one. Anyone out there clamoring for not
Switching
being able to
into
be
defense?
destroyed by card effects?
Yes. All of the scrubs.
Yes. Cyber Dragon, both original and alternate arts. The Stratos alternate art only. Boral Sword Dragon alternate art.
I actually want that.
Ew.
Because my Boral Sword Dragon went missing, so I now have a gold rare.
That's okay, because it's not really missing. You know exactly where it is.
No, I'm fairly sure I lent it to Logan, and then it's
This
just-
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
Logan doesn't know where it is.
yeah, it's gone.
Lost in the source.
Does the store have one?
I think this went missing like 3 years ago.
Oh my god.
I haven't had to use it since
How-
Access Code came out.
I would say probably lent it to him at, like, Oceanics in 2019, because that was, like, that plus Dingirsu was your end board for,
Maybe.
like, OTKing.
But yeah, my Boral Sword is gone.
So, not that it's going to come up for any of our listeners other than people that are here, but top tip, if Logan asks you to borrow a card, say no. Because he will steal it.
There are viewers at home that is relevant to.
It's just a helpful hint. Who knows?
I might look up how much a secret Boral Sword goes for, and I might just buy one.
I feel like it's not going to be that expensive. I feel
Yeah,
like you can just replace it and then send Logan the invoice.
But it's not my original one. My original one has sentimental value to me.
I mean, being that you haven't seen it for a while and you're now buying one, you can just pretend it's your original one.
Yeah, but
There's
it's
no
not
way
the
to
same
know.
one.
There's no way to know.
Lewis gave me a good deal on that. Thanks, Lewis.
I miss the days where Lewis played. Actually, I miss Lewis, but I don't miss Lewis playing because Lewis would always play.
He doesn't miss the older
those
guys.
cringe decks. Anyway, moving back to reprints. Afterburners, Miracle Rupture, Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, which I think is Pendulum.
That is the prize card, yes.
Yes. Yubel, all
Which
three.
really needed a reprint.
Yes. All three Yubels, which again kind of needed a reprint but have not been printed in Battles of Legend, so it's just chucking in because it's needed. Destiny Hero Malicious, Extra Wonder Hero Driver, E-Emergency Call, Doggeran, Kamungus, Radian, Jizukiru, number 54 Lionheart, number 77 Seven Sins, Utopia, the Astral Language one. That's
Yeah.
getting an ultra print, so making the one that was meant to be a highly desired card in the original Battles of Legend even worse value than it was already before this.
That is such a weird decision.
It is a very bizarre decision. You'd think it would be like...
I thought the whole point was to be collectible. Not,
Yeah!
like, because it doesn't have
I mean, that was the
rev-
point of the Starlights, right? And then they just went like, QCRs for everyone!
Remember how when the card came out, it was like $500?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, before this reprint, it was only like $150.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had reprinted Utopia in every possible rarity after reprinting this. Like, it now has a quarter century rare. It
An
has
ulti.
an ulti. I don't know if it has a Starlight. This was the Starlight, technically.
Yeah.
And now it's just that it's reprinting this version. This card's going to be like $80 when this set comes out.
If that...
I will gladly pay $50 for this.
Well, for the Ultra?
Now that I've said that out loud, I don't know if I'll pay $50 for the actual one, the nice one. If you walk up to me at YCS with that card in your hand and say $50, please, I will pay you the $50. I'll just steal it and run. Sorry. I'll just steal it and run.
Wait, my mic was on. Say it again. Moving down the list, we've got Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, Harpy Perfumer, Quick Launch, Security Dragon, Darkness Metal Dragon, Dragon Dark Steel, which I think is
that's the Link?
Link, yes. Trizula, the Fusion Trizula, Judgment Dragon, the Synchro one.
Is this the first Security Dragon reprint, by the way? Sorry? Still want to gloss over that?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it moves on to the commons, of which the list is very long and I care not to read it.
I thought we were going to read the whole thing. I was like, damn, Jake's really padding this out.
No.
He's gone hard.
Yeah, I understand that there's news to be made, but yeah, I don't really want to read through a list of 700 commons. Notably, Lightsworn is getting reprinted in there, which is handy.
Yeah, pretty much the entire Lightsworn core, bar Punishment Dragon.
Yep.
Yeah. Buy my Punishment Dragons.
Yeah.
We've got plenty available.
If he runs out of Punishment Dragons, buy my Punishment Dragon.
So is it the Twilight Swans in there as well, or is it?
No,
okay.
just the
the
ones that
Lightsworns.
were reprinted in the original Batters Legend set. So
Oh right.
everything in front of you,
Yes. Okay.
except this one, this one, this one.
Minerva,
I don't think
Gareth.
that one.
Not that one.
So that, maybe that. Don't think so.
Oh no.
No, I don't think the fighter
No.
was. That one. No. Wait, is that Michael?
That's Michael.
That's Michael.
Okay.
Not that one.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay.
Great reference for our Spotify listeners. Yeah, so we move on to some questions if you were aware.
Because there's a UDS to discuss, Jake.
Well, we don't know the result. Oh, wait, no, we do kind of know the results. So, yeah, UDS was happening over the last 2 days?
Yes.
Question mark?
No,
Just one day?
the one day. There's another day tomorrow. Day one was the invitational for Master Duel. So I wasn't
Okay.
invited to.
Yeah, apparently it
Probably
was...
drunk with friends.
Apparently it was bad.
What?
Like, some of the people that were invited should not have been invited.
I remember Leo saying in the chat there was some abysmal gameplay happening.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it because I was building the deck for today.
No, the last time they did this, it was the same, where they just invited a bunch of streamers,
No.
and they were like, play this. And they're like, you're paying me to be here, so sure. I don't know what this is.
I understand.
Get
like,
live interview. Yeah, I watched the anime when I was little. Oh, so you've been playing ever since?
No.
No, I picked up Master Duel like last year. Last year is in 45 days ago when I got booked for this.
Please don't check my Steam library.
So the top four of the actual championship, unsurprisingly, we have 3 fire decks and 1 non-fire deck, 2 Fire King Snake Eye, 1 normal Snake Eye, and then Gimmick Puppet Turbo is what I imagine it was. I haven't seen the list, but I can only imagine at that level, it's probably just...
It's a 99% chance.
Yeah.
But the thing I've appreciated the most about this stream is it is pretty much exclusively high-level play. There isn't, like, scrubs showing up.
Yeah.
So it was really good to actually sit down and watch.
So the first few feature matches of every YCS is a bit of a slog to get through.
Yeah.
Because you just
And
Jesse Cotton, FTK's a child, live on stream.
typically, that's also the ones we get to watch.
Yeah.
Because that's the start of the stream, and the
And it's
5 hours it takes to do those first 3 rounds
Yeah.
is
We go to
us
bed.
till 1 in the morning.
It's like 11 PM when we get the first game, if we're lucky.
Yeah. So it was good to wake up this morning and have some high-level play to like sit down and watch. I really appreciated it was Flunderies versus Shuping. And like game 3 he gets shifted and he showed the line of how to play around on the shifter and still get to like Appaloosa plus so on.
Yeah.
Really appreciated that. The fire... Well, I don't know the way to interpret this. I guess today I just kind of quick scooped. Fire is playing Parallel Exceed to be able to... if you open Parallel Exceed and your fire... Your Ash gets impermed, you can just link it into... Link Rebo, reveal Parallel Exceed, summon, fire, go into the Fire Exceed, search the Populace combo. Or you can go, what's the other one? Or you can just summon Dweller.
Make Dweller at the end of a combo.
If it doesn't get negated, you just make Dweller. And
Yeah.
then you've just won the fire matchup. So
Yeah.
cool. Good work. Today when it happened to me, I was like, I think I can play through this. Then hand traps started coming out of his hand, and I was like, next game, please scoop it up.
I can win it based on what's here. Can't win it based
What's
here.
there is the problem.
So, as I was attempting to say before, we move on to some questions. If you weren't aware, we do have a Discord. Link will be in the description below. Feel free to jump in, say hi, and ask us some questions. So our first question this week, if my phone stops jumping...
There is a gimmick puppet on the stream.
There is, yeah. The gimmick puppet player is literally playing.
So we've got the UDS stream on. They're just skipping anime episodes to anime episodes?
They're just
no continuity?
They're just showing clips of anything, yeah. Like, who knows what's going on?
Because, like, they were just showing the Yu-Gi Arcana duel.
Yeah.
And now we're showing the Gimmick Puppet duel?
Yeah, it's the
like
gimmick puppet giant grinder.
This is, like, one of the 3 episodes of this anime I've actually seen. I really don't like Zexal. That's right, you Zexal fans.
I read the first 2 volumes of the manga.
Yeah.
So, anyway, first question this week comes to us from Ryguy. For those of you who play video games, what's your go-to genre? Personally, he's a big fan of fighting games and roguelike games. I don't know what that means.
So,
I'm assuming that's like Assassin's Creed?
No, so roguelikes...
He's too old for a roguelike.
So, there was a procedurally generated, like, adventure game back in, like, the 80s called Rogue.
Oh, right.
So,
okay.
games like Hades or The Binding of Isaac, where you start a run with, like, no items or anything like that. You progress, and then you die, and then you start again. And then you've got roguelikes, which are more like that, and then you've got roguelites, which have, like, permanent progression attached to it. So it's like you can get permanent upgrades for your character that you can, like, spec into between runs.
Right. Okay.
You die, you go back.
Yeah.
Go again.
That sounds awful.
Harry's good thing that's why we got Harry. I would have just told you, you go and you die and you start over. But it's not the same.
So yeah, favorite video game
I'm sorry,
genre.
what was the question?
Your favorite video game genre.
A few years ago I would have given a not straightforward answer. The answer is sports games because it's all I have time to play. That's all I do now, is just play sports games. Unless, like, something comes out that I want to play that's fun. Like, I just put a bunch of...
You done like 40 hours into Power World, didn't you?
I don't know. I finished it. I
He
don't
probably
know
doesn't,
how
he
much
probably
I put
doesn't
into
want
it.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was, I wasn't playing on Steam, so I couldn't just check it. I was
Yeah.
playing Xbox, so I was like,
yeah.
unless it gives me an achievement for playing 800 hours, I don't know how many hours I've played.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, Gimmick Puppet died.
So
Replay from today. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just finished the new Prince of Persia, so that's a 2D Metroidvania, which has been really fun. So I enjoy Metroidvanias. I've just started Blasphemous 2, but I also do enjoy my roguelikes as well. I've been playing the BlazBlue Entropy Effect, which is based on the fighting game franchise. It's a roguelite, because it's got the permanent progression on the outside. 2D, you fight the enemies, but because it's based on a fighting game franchise, your in-game combos are like fighting game combos.
Oh, yeah.
And the in-game progression, instead of finding items, there are items, but you also get potentials, which are unlocking more fighting combos. So like different inputs will give you new moves that you can then use.
Does it have knockoff fatalities?
No, don't believe so. But yeah, so,
Add that feature.
and then I also enjoy like survival horror and just like horror games in general. So like I've just replayed all of the Resident Evils, not all of the Resident Evils, but like Resident Evil remake 2, 3, 4, and then 7 and 8, and now I'm going
I
back
expect
to.
you to skip 6, but not 5.
I just haven't gone around to 5. I own it on my Switch. I've just been playing other things, and
I
then
like 5. 5 is not a great game, but it holds
Yeah.
weight in Ben's heart.
and then I've just got
Punch that rock.
Signalis to play at some point, which is another survival horror that's very much like Resident Evil.
Point of Ben's life. The bit in Resident Evil 5 where you punch the rock.
Oh yeah,
When I was a wee laddie, none of me and my friends could hit the X button fast enough to punch the rock. So
Chris
we just got
Redfield
stuck
punching a
there
boulder
for
is
ages.
yeah.
And then one day, like, one of my friends did it, and we're like, holy shit.
I don't know if
We
you've
can
seen.
finally progress the game further.
Have you seen the clip that's from one of the CGI movies where it's Chris Redfield and Wesker having that shootout maybe 5 meters apart from each other, and it goes for like 6 minutes. None of them get hit. I'll find it after this. It's absolutely incredible.
So, my gaming history, primarily
It's gonna be Kingdom Hearts.
In Pokemon.
JRPGs in general. So,
Pokemon's not a JRPG.
I know this.
Pokemon's for scrubs.
Okay, you also play Pokemon,
Yeah,
so
I'm not saying it's not a game you can't play. I'm just saying if you make your entire life about it, it's not.
cool. So, can I continue now?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, JRPGs have been a big one in Jake history. So started with Final Fantasy VIII. Didn't play 7 or 9 until I was much older, just because other games came out in the meantime, like 10. 10 was an incredible game, Final Fantasy 10. 10-2 was awful. Like, if Love Actually was a JRPG, it's fucking terrible.
I'm impressed that you have the time. I suppose you would have had the time back in the day. I'm impressed that you have the time to commit to these games, especially to watch the cutscenes and finish the games.
I think did 10-2 let you skip the cutscenes, or was that just? I think
13 let you skip cutscenes.
Yeah,
I know because I skipped a lot of cutscenes and still was like, oh, I don't think I still want to do this.
I don't understand how 13 got as many sequels as it did. Like, they just got stuck on Lightning as a character, and they're like, yes, give me Lightning, give me Lightning.
I'd assume the engine was easy to play around with. That had to be it.
Maybe they just got stuck in, like, dev of other stuff, because I know one of them, I think it was the one, I want to say 14, but I don't think it's 14.
14 is the MMO.
No, so it's not 14. Maybe it was 15. I think 15.
Best game ever.
I think
Final Fantasy 14 Online. The game's so good they sold out of digital codes.
15 was the one with like Noctis and Pronto
yes.
and all that.
So
yeah.
I think that 15 took them a long time to develop. And they may have even had the same thing that Kingdom Hearts 2 had, where they started on one engine, got to like a certain point, they're like, nah, changing engine, start again.
That's how Final Fantasy games work. That's how they're all made. I'm not joking there. I'm not being a joke here. Like, all of them, the guy notoriously takes so long and changes his mind that they will get 3/4 of the way through development and he'll just be like, nah, change it. And here we are. That's why they fired him from Kingdom Hearts 3. Because they were like, he was like, nah, changing it, and they're like, you go work on the next Final Fantasy. We'll just get someone in here to finish this off. And they did that.
That's probably why we're still getting Kingdom Hearts 4, like, I think it's the next year.
Coming next decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I don't take their dates as like a thing anymore because it just breaks my heart.
How could you? Like, there's no trust there for that.
I remember we went to a regionals in Penrith ages ago, and we're waiting for the store to open, and on their front window, super faded, was like a pre-order poster for Kingdom Hearts in 2016. I was like, this is the biggest lie that history's ever told. Outside of JRPGs though, also like playing racing games. So like Need for Speed Underground 2, Need for Speeds were a lot of them, Gran Turismo to a point, but the thing is I'm not very good at them. I very much take the ethos of like, I'm going to wait for whoever I'm racing against to get to the corner and use them as a guardrail as such, and just sort of use them to meter out my speed somewhat, bump them off the track to slow myself down. I'm not a big fan of the brakes.
So I used to have like the full racing setup at home, and I once did a playthrough of F1. So I played F1 on like the hardest difficulty for season mode, and I was drive along. Now, I made the mistake of having a wireless steering wheel. So I'm going down a straight, doing like I would have been like in the 200s. I'm like flying along, and the steering wheel disconnects, and I'm like, shit. I like slam into a wall, and it ends my season.
No.
I was like, that's a lot of time and effort that I put into that, because I would race the entire races and the entire time trials and everything, and I was like, I've just lost like a good solid 50 hours I put into the season.
Oh my god.
All because my steering wheel disconnected.
It's like, The only,
And I never played a racing game again.
Yeah, understandable.
the only racing game I've ever been interested in racing game is Driver San Francisco.
Heard of it, but not
I remember playing
played
that.
it.
So that's the one where like you don't physically, but you hop out between cars.
Oh, okay.
It's like GTA Lite.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There was another, I don't know what you'd call the genre, I guess like the Mario Kart-esque genre. Like racing, but not the same sort of racing.
Just like the party game
It's
races.
not a racing sim, it's a racing... There's another term for it. Arcade racer.
Yeah.
Arcade
yeah.
racer,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
mind an arcade racer. There was one that was like super obscure on PS2, maybe PS3. I think PS3 called Blur. I think.
Ah, yeah. The one where everything explodes as you drive past it.
Yeah. So it was like Mario Kart, but you play in like traditional type cars. Like you'd have
Right.
like junk Beetles and stuff like that, and then you'd get like full rocket launchers and stuff to like hit at shit. I really liked it.
It's like racing Twisted Metal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Is there anything else?
I also enjoy like Souls-likes, obviously.
Yes. I was going to also raise that question.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last like new genre where I was like, time to dive into this, was Elden Ring.
No, it's so good.
Because like, I'd traditionally not liked Soulsborne games and was just like,
it
I want to play this though, so I made an effort to learn it.
It takes a moment, and then you have that moment where everything sort of just clicks.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first attempt at any Souls-like was Bloodborne, and I didn't realise in the Hunter's Dream that you're meant to get the weapons there. So I went back and I spent about an hour just trying to play the game, because as you spawn, there's a wolf that's about half health.
Yep.
But like, not like Elden Ring wolves, they're bigger, they do more damage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just slapping this thing, I'm doing 5 damage. Is it meant to be this hard? And then I go back and I decide, I'll watch a walkthrough on YouTube, because I'm probably missing something. It's like, bruh, you hit it, you kill it in 3 hits otherwise.
Yeah. It's like, this is the weakest enemy in the game.
Yeah.
Off you go.
But then I jumped over to Dark Souls 3 as my first like proper Souls like, and I played so much of that. And I've just been doing randomizers every now and then.
I want to do a Pokemon randomizer. Like, do a randomizer Nuzlocke of, like, Emerald or, I don't know, Soul Silver or something. But I want to play it on the TV. I need to figure that out. How I can do that.
I mean,
There has to be a way for you to be able to connect your computer to the TV without actually having to move the computer to the TV.
I think it's just plug in a HDMI cable to my laptop. And
that's
get,
I was
like,
about
a
to
wireless
I was
controller or
about to
something.
say you can do that. Get a
Yeah.
wireless controller with the dongle,
Yeah.
and then you just run the emulator. You just keep the mouse next to you for your setup.
Yeah. Raspberry Pis here are just so expensive.
Yeah.
And hard to find. Like, JCar sells them, but they're always sold out because they sell them at, like, an affordable price.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question.
Anywho, just for housekeeping, because we have got a lot of questions and we have taken up a lot of time, I will be saving some for next week. So if your question doesn't get asked this week, I have taken screenshots. We will be asking it later.
Let's watch some screenshot.
Yeah. So next question is from 6R6. Which, in your opinion, is the worst and best reprint in Battles of Legend Chapter 1?
The worst reprint. I don't think anything's a bad reprint in that set. Like, everything needed something. Like,
I'm just not invested in the set enough to really have an opinion like that. It's like they're just getting reprinted. Like, I'd have to properly sit down and look at everything.
I think the quality of the commons in that set is commendable. That's part of the reason why I think that set is so good. Like, just the overall quality of the shit that you're getting to fill your packs is, like, good enough that if there's a garbage card in there, so what?
Yeah.
Like, I pulled an entire common Lightsworn engine, like, cool, sick, awesome. Like, if you're a player that didn't have that, you didn't have that. Best reprint, though, is probably the prize card, Pendulum,
The
Judgment Dragon,
Chaos Emperor.
Chaos Emperor.
Yeah.
That's probably the best reprint. Isn't it?
That's been floating around like what 60, 70, if not more.
Yo-yos pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Like when it's
Like,
Dragons
played,
are in
I was gonna say,
formatting,
is
don't
Dragon Dragon Link
it was
relevant?
demonetized there.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional. I'm sorry. I mean, no,
He was
it
thinking
will.
of Elden Ring.
I was going to say Dragon Link relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best reprint in there for me would probably be the Photon Lord, because that card was obscenely
Oh yeah,
expensive.
Photon Lord's a good one. That one's just due for a reprint.
Expensive
Yeah.
for the reason that it just didn't have a reprint.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
it.
much. Next question again is from what?
Your reprint.
Oh yeah. But
Oh yeah, the gimmick puppet that I already owned.
There we go. He said the word.
Yeah.
So next question is also from 6i6. What is your favourite instrument, musical or otherwise? I'm not sure what the otherwise refers to. Instrument of war. Bazooka.
I don't like instruments. I used to play the drums.
So I don't play any instruments, but my genre of music that I enjoy are like metal and things like that primarily.
Hit the drums, Harry. Hit them hard.
Nah.
Um,
So I guess I enjoy guitars as an instrument. Like, I don't know. It's like hard to answer that question
Jake,
properly.
do you have a serious answer before I take the piss?
Yes. I, from the ages of 16 to about 19, played piano, which is
Because his family has money.
No, because
They owned a piano.
yeah, which got stolen, if you recall, which I told the whole story about.
I forgot. I remember how funny it was that someone stole a fucking piano.
Yes, but you assumed that they'd come into our house late at night and just wheeled out the piano.
Yeah, I'm
no,
still
for
imagining
context, we sent it away to get repaired and they never sent it back. For further context, it was a pianola, and the reason they stole it is because it was a self-playing piano. They stole all the parts. So by
Right.
the time we got it back, it was just a piano.
You just got
And I
fucking-
got it back at the age of 16.
You sent it to
Anyway,
a piano chop shop.
Effectively, yeah. Effectively. So,
I just want to point out how hilarious it would be. Just like Jake's like 15, he wakes up at like 2 in the morning, walks down the lounge room. It's like fucking Dora the Explorer and Swiper just fucking pushing his piano out the front door. That's how they fund their adventures. These pianos.
yeah, piano chop shops. So, yeah, from 16 to 19, I played piano. I am not particularly good at reading sheet music, but I think it's called Suzuki. I learnt by ear. My tone is very good. So the
it's not
time.
Suzuki. It's Nissan.
No,
That's Nissan.
shut up. You said you would wait for me to finish before you took the piss.
Okay,
so how about you shut up?
Continue.
So anyway, the time that I should have spent practicing, I didn't, and then I would just practice with the teacher who was in the room who wanted me to progress in a new thing, but I would wait to hear how I was supposed to play it when she played it, and then just mimic her. So that's effectively how I learnt piano. Big waste of time and money, but it was my money at the time because I was working part-time, so it was fine.
So you learn piano the way you're supposed to learn playing the drums.
Effectively, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after high school, I just didn't keep up with it. So that's an instrument that I like that's attainable, but an instrument that I like that isn't attainable and that is very difficult is the violin. The violin's insanely difficult.
Okay. My joke answer was any instrument where it's the ones that you hold and you blow into and you move your fingers. Because they all seem incredibly easy to learn, and like experts at that craft, I'm just like, I feel like you've committed way too much time to something I could learn in an afternoon.
Bro's gonna pick up a recorder and play hot cross buns.
Like, I
That's
think I
about
could
the
pick
level
up,
I think Ben would get to as well.
I think I could pick up a saxophone and play anything.
I
I reckon if you gave me a day in a saxophone, I could learn anything on the saxophone. I have no respect for people that are good at that instrument. Like, it can't be hard, because every sound that the saxophone makes is like an elongation. So it can't be that hard to be like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I implore anybody who listens to this podcast, if you have any wind instrument, to get in touch with us, and I will get this man to try and play it and just see how good he actually
I
is.
don't want to put my mouth up something else. That's also a reason why I would
You
never
can
learn
clean
those
it.
instruments. No, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
I can put my mouth next to something that someone else has already put their mouth on. Especially
And that's
with
why
metal.
Ben's single.
Jake
Next
just took
question.
a return serve. Will I counter with a forehand? Tune back in 3 weeks.
He's going to hit me. Call the police. Next question is from Raga. In your opinion, what is the max that a competitive staple should cost?
That's a giant question.
No,
No, Jesse's question. Is that an answer?
that's an answer.
Okay. I respect your effort in that answer, Jesse.
Yeah, man's
what
going
was the
full
question,
essay mode. What is the max that a competitive staple should cost?
$130.
Yep.
I don't really like spending over 100. Like, I remember...
I don't
That
like
used to
spending
be
over
the
100.
ceiling, and we discussed this on a recent podcast, that was the most that they could charge you in room for a card. That's why that
USD.
was the ceiling.
yeah.
So they weren't. You're not allowed. You weren't allowed to charge more than 100 USD for a card to YCS. Which is why, like, we never saw like Brush.
Yeah.
Never got above 130
Yeah.
because at the time conversion set the bar at 130.
Yeah.
Which is also now why my arbitrary number is 130.
Because, I don't like spending that much money on, cardboard. Like,
$3.90 for a playset of cards fucking hurts.
yeah, like, I remember it was really hard to get my playset of Forbidden Droplets when that was, like, a top-tier meta staple before any of the reprints.
I got very lucky.
I managed to get mine for $300 for the set on auction. That's sort of my bar.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was our locals where I played against Jake, and Jake had bought the case.
Yeah.
So he used it on me, and he also used talents on me, and I was like, oh, Nikija collectibles. So you still have this. Cool. Send me this, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it was right before it spiked. So I think I paid, like, $250 a playset on those. And I was like, I think the talents was cheaper. So I think the talents only cost me, like, $180 on the playset. And I was like, sick, awesome. And then next week they were worth over $100 each. And I was like...
Because, I remember talents, like, after they spiked to, 100, 120, whatever, when they did come back down, they were still at, like, 80 each.
Yeah.
But that Rise of the Duelist was such an insane set.
That was a great set. Jake made a great purchase decision.
I did. I didn't get a Starlight in that set. Well, actually, not true. I didn't get a Starlight in the case. I then bought random packs at Zing and pulled a Starlight Tactics.
Like, he says this, but he also, in a set where you didn't always pull a playset of all your secret rares, he pulled like 3 talents, 3 droplets,
Oh my god.
and then a bunch of all the other shit. That was good.
Yeah.
All the,
That-
all
He
the
pulled a
dogmatic stuff
perfectly
was in there as
balanced
well.
case.
In my entire history of buying product, that was my Magnus Opum. That was the best I've ever done in buying
Didn't
any
you
product.
like just need to get like one Nadir Servant and that was it? Or was it just one Ecclesia?
Oh,
I mean, I
Ecclesia,
think
I don't
either
think
way,
that was that hard to get. I think it was a Nadir.
I remember
And maybe a Maximus, but I'm not
I
sure.
plussed super hard on that core. Because like when that got announced, I think I bought it through like Team Tradebinder. It's like I was like standing on the side of the road and I saw the notification on Facebook. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just like stood there for 5 minutes and like bought it. They were charging like $40 on a Dear Servant, like $70 on Maximus.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Maximus must be the expensive one. I'll just get the Nadirs for now and like I'll worry about the Maximus later. And then the prices went.
I do remember that. I remember it being super, like, reversed at some point. Nadir was for some reason cheap, even though it searched them from anywhere.
Because people were like, well, the Maximus is the one you need to resolve. And it's like, A, it's a one-of. B, your opponent can counter it incredibly easily. So the card just plummeted in price a week later.
And then, like, not long after that, it just became a terrible card to resolve because it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Everyone was playing counters or playing the deck you were playing.
I think that card's only expensive now because it hasn't been reprinted. That's
Which
it.
is that? Nadir.
No, Maximus.
Maximus has been reprinted.
Has it?
It had an ultra
had
reprint.
Ultra print.
Okay. Cool.
It's
Last
expensive
time I checked,
because-
it was like $30.
But
And I
even
was
still,
like,
like, I think it's only had the one reprint since.
okay.
Like so it's got the original Secret, the Ultra, which I think was the Megatin following.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't in Rarity Collection with the Nadirs and the Ecclesia.
Yeah.
Neither was the Fleur de Lis.
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
it's just hovering around, I guess.
If you need a Maximus, Ben has them for sale.
Um,
I'm asking full price.
Question from Rye Guy. When do you think Yu-Gi-Oh became modern Yu-Gi-Oh?
Easy.
2014.
Duelist Alliance.
Yeah.
Shadol, Burning Abyss,
Yes.
and then Tellarknights are just hanging out. They're fine.
That's when we went from like, I summon a hand and I pass, to
Because like I
summon from deck. Go, 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 go.
when I started playing, the next set to come out was Shadow Spectres, which had Ghost Tricks. And then the set after that was Legacy of the Valiant with Silent Honor Arc 101, which was huge at the time. And then, not even 6 months later, I think we got Castell, which just completely nullified its existence.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the Shadol Fusion has set the precedent for fusion spells in the future. Burning Abyss resolving as long as they hit the grave was just relevant, and it was a stun deck for a bit, resolving Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. and then resolving Fire Lake from New Challenges, I think. Is it set after?
Yeah.
Which is like pop 2, pop 3 is crazy because
All your shit's also gonna plus.
yeah, well that's it. It's like pop Graph, summon Seer, Dante, add Scarm back from grave to hand, whatever.
Yeah. It was absurd.
And then Telenoids was just a rank 4 toolbox, just making the best of the rank 4s that existed, which
Like
the pile wasn't bad. And then when you started doing the Triver loops with the Call of the Hornets and the one that summons back defense as a worm,
Yeah.
it was just 3 more copies of that, and just getting the incremental advantage, and then just overwhelming your opponent.
As shit as it seems, I would like to have seen Dragon Rulers be in that format.
Yeah,
Just for the just to see what would have happened. Because I don't think Dragon Rulers are that much better than any of those decks.
yeah.
Because that's the point when Modern Yu-Gi-Oh started, where everything just went.
So, to that point, I have a counter
Yep.
argument for the point where Yu-Gi-Oh became Modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and that
It's
is
going to show a Link monster at us.
no,
Look at this Link monster.
Flames of Destruction,
Because
where we
have
first got the Nightmares, where you had a generic extra deck kind of thing that most people were playing, and that also it began that super heavy combo variant of style game, and you had a lot more generic links as well that enabled a lot more people to sort of do stuff that wasn't available to the game before this.
I get it, and it's not an invalid answer. I just think that the jump from like playing hands to playing Burning Abyss is
You got to remember that
a much bigger of a jump.
2014 was the same year that Soul Charge released, and that was the year that Infernity won Worlds, which was, I would like to say, the precursor to these Infinite Negate end boards. Because
Pretty much just did that.
oh, well, you're ending on barrier, break, and then probably a Key Beetle save zone on vanities.
Yeah.
And then
It's the point when we went from if I normal summon, I might live for 3 turns, to you're dead, bitch.
and to address the discussion of generic, it's, the rank 4 toolbox was the generic for the time, because the rank 4 pool was the most expansive. So if you wanted to play something that was a toolbox extra deck, you would go for rank 4s. You'd be playing your Tellers. Infernity primarily did the same thing. It also had access to rank 3s because of Necromancer.
Why is Ultimate Offering still banned? This is a card that should be banned.
I can see an argument for it because you've got a lot more cards that'll actually give you turn 1 access to it and stuff like that. So
It's banned because of Red Gadget.
I don't know if that's true.
That's what you play. It was rank 4 toolbox from the Gadget Engine.
No, I understand that, but
normal
as to
Gadget,
why it's
add
not coming
summon.
back, I think
Yeah.
a lot more
Summon.
stuff has changed since then.
What, what's going to happen? Your opponent's going to summon a Flundereese? It's already
No.
going to get another normal summon.
No, Ben, you're thinking too small.
Oh no. Anyway, I activated Morganite. I now get to draw 2 and normal summon
Again,
twice.
that's not... Anyway, I'm not getting into this argument.
I'm just saying that there are infinitely better cards than Ultimate Offering. Ultimate Offering should not be banned. Bring it back.
No. And the last question for
Putting
today...
on my next ban list prediction. Marking my words right now. Drawing a line in the sand, and that line is Ultimate Offering coming back.
That's never going to happen. Last question comes to us from 6R6. When making a sandwich or toast, what do you do with the smidge of spread left on the knife after spreading the layer of whatever it is? Shrug and smear it on the bread, bread substitute, or scrape it back into the container, or wash it off in the sink.
Well,
Whoever puts it back in the container should be
You
shot.
should be shot, yes. You rub it off on the corner of the bread. Yeah.
I tend to just run my finger along the knife and then eat it.
Well, I wouldn't do that with something like Vegemite. If it's like
Valid.
Nutella, you just lick the knife. Yeah. There's no...
I'm licking the knife's a bit silly.
Use it, that's a butter knife. If it cuts your tongue, you're soft.
Even
Tongue's
if,
soft in it.
even if it is a sharp knife, if you manage to cut yourself on it, you sort of deserve that. It's
Yeah.
not that difficult.
Peanut butter, I will lick off the knife.
A lot of things you'd lick peanut butter off.
Yep, that'll do us for today. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. We didn't get a lot of votes in our last poll. I can't really think of something else to vote on.
I had something earlier, but I forgot what it was.
Okay.
Ben's distracted by the Zaxel stuff.
I'm wondering if we're still on Gimmick Puppets.
We are.
What was the best reprint in Battles of Legend?
Yeah, that'll
You
do.
answer at home.
Yeah.
Bragg's not going to put the poll up for 5 days, so there's not going to be many.
Yeah, getting quick. So yeah, if you're listening on Spotify, vote on the polls, favourite. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Jump in our Discord, ask us some questions for next week, and we'll catch you all then. Peace.
Bye.